What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to go over something that was highly requested. We're going to be going over how to actually execute clean, efficient footwork so that you guys can execute clean, efficient shots. A lot of times people make these mistakes on the court and they think it's because they don't know how to swing their racket. Sometimes you just put yourself in a spot where that shot became easier or more difficult to execute. So in this video, we're going to uncover some of the things that you guys need to be doing better or not doing at all in order to have clean footwork to execute those shots. Let's get into it. And before we start, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As I said, we're trying to get to 2,500 so that we can get these collaboration videos started. We have 3 channels that are wanting to work with us, but they want us to hit a certain number of subscribers, so it's mutually beneficial. I think that's fair. So if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing so that you can help out the channel and help us get to that number. Now let's get into the footwork. The first thing I want you guys to be doing when you think about footwork is stop trying to step in all the time. Now, I do not mean that your goal is not to step in. What I mean is way too often people are swinging their racket and they're just arriving in these positions here. Let's say the court's in front of me. They're just arriving in these positions here and there's no real use for that position. When you're hitting the ball, the goal should always be to step in. So it kind of sounds like I'm saying both things at the same time. Your goal is to step in, but if you're not actually stepping into the stroke and you're just arriving sideways, you're not getting the benefit of actually using your body weight to hit that shot. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how to efficiently do it correctly and also how to bail out of it when it's not going to work. To illustrate what I mean by arriving in a closed stance versus stepping in, I want you guys to look at my body position. This is a closed stance. My body is sideways, my shoulder is facing the court. If I was hitting a forehand, my body would be facing that way because I'm right-handed. Obviously, if I was left-handed, it would be a backhand. But being in a closed stance doesn't actually mean anything unless you know how to use it. If I just stand here and swing sideways, this is what I see a lot of people do when they arrive in a closed stance. The reason that is because when they run to the side, they just arrive like this. So they got their ready position, they move, and they just arrive sideways. The problem is my momentum never got settled. If it wasn't for the fact that I was swinging, my body would actually kind of like tip over this way a little bit. So to do this properly, what you actually have to do is perfect the open stance, which is used a lot more now as the game is getting faster and faster and the balls are bouncing higher and higher. You need to be more comfortable using your outside leg. But as I said in the intro, the goal is always to step in. So what you need to do is get comfortable measuring this shot out with your right foot first. So as I run to the side, putting my right foot out in that position, just getting my foot out to here very efficiently. Once you can quickly get this foot out, what you start to do is allow your body weight to turn the corner in the closed stance. Most people kind of just put both feet in this position. Likewise, you'll see it even more common on the backhand where they'll even measure it out with their right leg. But the problem is now there's no weight to unload toward the court. What you want to do is if you've ever been ice skating or roller skating, you kind of shift your weight from one foot to the other. You're going to do that same thing here where you go out and in. Now my body weight is moving through my shot even though I'm in a closed stance. So as I said, stepping in is different than using a closed stance. The goal is the same thing, but I want to get my body weight out and then in at the same time. Out first and then toward the court versus just showing up sideways and swinging fast. Now, can I make the shot? Yes, but am I getting the most out of that setup? Of course I'm not. So just think about it in terms of going out first and then being able to shift your body weight towards the shot. As I said, use the roller skating analogy where you kind of go from side to side and it would be the same thing. I go out and then I go in. Now, as I promised, I'm going to show you guys how to bail out on this shot. And basically all it is when you realize you don't have enough time, you have to stick to the open stance, but you won't get in trouble because you've already measured it out. If you always measure the outside foot first, then when you go to step in and you realize maybe they hit the ball too hard, you're not going to end up getting caught leaning away And that's usually what happens to people who step into a closed stance without really being able to use it. They go into the closed stance, maybe try to lean in, but then they end up kind of jammed in here. Whereas with the open stance, it's faster to set up because it's one less step. And then you also have way more room to extend your arm out. So flipping it to this angle here, open stance when I'm under pressure, moving out to the side, open stance because I'm under pressure. I'm faking the pressure, obviously. But if I got here really late, I'm able to execute that shot. That's the bailout. Out here, bailout, foot's planted. But then if I set it up quick, 1, 2, I'm able to execute it quickly. Out to the side, 1, 2, and then through. You don't have to go here to here. It's a seamless transition. Just 1, 2, and through. 1, 2, and then out. A lot of people are always like, I have to get down. This is where the power comes from. You can get power from the legs, but momentum is the thing that's actually really important here. You want to make sure your body, you want to make sure your body's shifting toward the court over and over again. One of the big reasons why you need to use this skill effectively and efficiently is because you will hit the ball harder, easier. You don't need to generate a lot of racket speed in order to increase your power when you're bringing your body weight and momentum through the shot. A lot of times people think that that load and that really hard ground force is where that power is coming from. And it does assist a little bit, but most of the time when you're pushing up, you're actually creating more spin on the shot. But when you shift your body weight around and then round that corner into the shot, you're bringing all that running momentum into the shot and you're able to hit the ball harder. But when you run and you hit that hard open stance stop, you use your legs to drive up into the ball. Now you're going to get more shape, more spin, and you're using that when somebody pushes you back off the court and they stop you from that step in. But if your goal is always to find an opportunity to shift forward and strike right through the shot, you're going to hit the ball way cleaner. And when you do step in properly, you're going to hit the ball harder without any added effort. Watch the pros hit and you'd be surprised how many times they're actually leaning into that shot a little bit. And that's where that extra power comes from that separates a lot of recreational players from the top level. It's those little details that you don't really know or pay attention to until somebody tells you what's going on. Then it becomes very obvious what the differences are. That's going to wrap this video up, guys. Again, I hope it was beneficial. You found some value in it. If there's anybody you know that would benefit from it, send this off to them. Don't forget, like and subscribe so we can hit that 2,500. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.